back in what was it? 40, December the 14th, because we got married on the 15th, 4 years later. At a private party at the Boger's Ranch on Kohler Avenue in the east side, off of Mount Pleasant Road, out by the East Hills. She came in there, had her hair tinted kind of reddish, and she was 17 years old. And I looked at her. I looked at that little. Came in with a group. It's 4 people. One was her cousin. I thought it was her boyfriend. And she kind of took a liking to me, although I hid my what do you call it, beer behind the mantle on the fireplace because of the people's home, because I didn't drink, but I was just being sociable with very good friends of ours, the Bogers and the Ranchers. And then we got up, we had a Victrola, so they started that. She loved to dance, so I wasn't that good, but I could make it. And we got out there and very interested in dancing with me and kind of very, very delicately talking to me, but not being aggressive or anything. And then finally, pretty soon, I said, how come your boyfriend, she says, that's not my boyfriend. She says, that's my cousin. What was his name?
Rudy.
Huh?
Rudy,
yeah. And I met him again on Saipan on the Mariana Islands. He was in the medical corps. But I was already flying combat by then, see. But anyway, so we got acquainted, of course. And then I asked her for her phone number later on. We took a little walk around by the pig pen because it was a ranch, with animals and stuff.
Right.
And she was kind of, So then after that, I asked her for her phone number. She gave it to me, and I thought afterwards, I said, oh boy, I got some of these before and come to find out they're blank lots and stuff, nothing there. But then I asked her if I could take her home. She says, no, I'm sorry. She says, I would like that, but I came with Rudy, my cousin, so I'm going to go. I says, I'm safe, but that didn't impress her too much. No, she was playing the whole part of a lady.
Right.
And she was. Then on the following day, I said, I'm going to take a look about 10 o'clock. No, about 10 o'clock. I can't remember the exact, but the next day, Sunday morning, about 10, we had a phone in our place, just on the ranch. And I called up and I talked to her aunt, Katie.
Right.
Who later, at first, was very, very, she thought, what's he going to do with this wild farmer, So what took place was, she told me, though, apparently Helen had talked to her before that she'd met a kid and was he was very compatible or whatever. I don't know that, but because she talked to me and she was very suspicious of anybody that hung around her aunt, her niece. So apparently, she told me she was on an errand, and then she wrote me a letter later on in the year, and after we got well acquainted in time, and she said, wasn't that something? You called up at 10 o'clock and I'm not home. I'm on an errand, but I don't remember I don't remember if I went over there then, but we got acquainted. We went to a movie a couple times, and then she got acquainted with my youngest sister, Dolores. And she went in and they met each other at the beauty school that she was going to, okay? Well, learning to be a beautician. And but anyway, and then, so they kind of exchanged, about this little guy Al and how wild he was and all that, but that didn't bother her. So then from there on then, it was 2 months that we kind of kept going together, and then she told her other 2 boyfriends that she had been going out with, although nothing tangible, and says that I believe Al is going to be the guy I'm my boyfriend now. So, and then she did make the statement one time that every time I'd called, she says, my heart had just jumped. So what the hell does that mean, huh?
Well, that means she liked you.
Well, we never touched each other. I didn't even kiss her for crying out loud till almost a month later. I give her a little, we were sitting out in the car, a little 32 Plymouth after we'd already known each other for over a month. And even, in fact, I was supposed to go I had a date with her because she went back to Los Banos for New Year's Eve, see?
I see.
Now, Christmas had gone by, and but my car had a carburetor problem, and I couldn't get over the Pacheco Pass, so I gave it up. But that was the only problem. And after that, we visited, and we'd go out. In fact, Dolores and her were kind of buddies, you know. But I'd never met my family yet.
Right.
In fact, they didn't until after about about a year, almost 6 months later. And then she started visiting, coming up on the weekends and staying with my great-grandmother. And then I had the little apartment out in just the bed out in the back room. And then later on we cleaned that up, and that's where we moved in when we got married, yeah.
Right.
Then from there on it was, hey, that was it. And then she took 6 months after we were married, and everything was going pretty smoothly and stuff. I says, okay. I says, at this point, I'm the breadwinner. You take care of all the bills, the checks, and whatever, and for 40 years, I never signed a payroll check.
Yeah, but what did you do wrong? You couldn't write a check.
No, for 40 years, I didn't even know how to write a check. She used to write them out for me, and when I did one, I went through 3 of them and threw them all away.
But when you first got married, you were going to pay the bills.
No, not really. It was just that we did it together. We went down and bought furniture. We went down and bought a couple of chairs and stuff for the living room, and then a bed and a mattress. We bought it from Goldine's, an old company on South First Street. But